Tässä jaksossa tähän penkkiin saadaan toivottu vieras, kun Ilveksen tekninen neuvonantaja Khallil Lambin saapuu vieraaksi keskustelemaan muun muassa JMG-akatemiayhteistyöstä sekä juuri aukeavasta siirtoikkunasta. Myös katsojien kysymykset on olennainen osa jaksoa. Tervetuloa mukaan! Welcome, Khallil. Great to have you here. Before we talk about the JMG and transfer window, let's start with you personally. How are you doing?
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me today. I'm great. Finnish summer, very sunny, nice weather, and so far everything is looking good. So,
how would you describe your time at Ilves so far?
Wow. Well, I knew that the start of this new project always take time, so there will be difficult time, but it's going as I've prepared it in my head before leaving the UK to come here. So,
has anything surprised you in Finland and in Ilves?
Anything? A lot of things surprise me, but this is why we're here, to also bring more professionalism to the team and structure in different things to help Ilves to go to the international dimension. Yeah.
And how about your role? How has it evolved or shaped up over time?
Over time, my role has been really, I like doing what I'm doing because, I've played football for over 12 years and I was on the pitch. Now that I'm more in the background, growing and seeing the players' adaptation, decision making on players in and out, it's something that I value a lot because there is a lot of human side to it, emotion, which I like and value. So I appreciate doing that because I can see how Ilves is a family and we are building something that will last not for 5 years but for generations.
And here's a question from fans as well. What does your day-to-day look like?
My day-to-day, I wouldn't even say day-to-day. You mean 24/7? Because I can have players calling me at 1 a.m. in the morning and asking me, what did you think of my game? Did I play good or bad? And I have to be honest, you were really shit that game, Sorry to say that, but that's what I will tell him. And be honest, because I know that players' development and adaptation is to be honest to him so he can improve. So in my day-to-day, as I said, at night, phone calls, a lot of phone calls and meetings. During the day, I would come in the office around 8:30, 9 a.m. in the morning. And then I will have meeting. And then from there, I will also plan my day, speaking probably to coaches. With Ika, most of the time I will be with Ika. We will be talking about the team, the shape of the team, what do we need, what needs to improve. So then I will also be speaking to players that I'm quite close with the players, not just the foreign players. There is few, I would say, half of the Finnish players that I'm quite very close to them. We go for lunch, sometimes breakfast, coffees, and we are speaking about how they can also improve because there is high level potential Finnish youth players here.
So talking players' adaptation with players coming from completely different cultures, for example, Bamba, how big is your role in helping them adjust to Finland?
It's been 5 months that Bamba is here now, and I married a Finnish woman, and I've played in the UK, in France, in Switzerland, so I know how the demands of high level are. So whenever we bring a player like Bamba here, we are building him for the next step. You see, so the plan is not to bring him for him to make 10 years in Ilves, but it's to build him so that Ilves can make a profit on this kind of profile. But the profit can only come when the players feel at home and understand that this is a new culture and this is my role to help him to understand the new culture, the teammates, for him to adapt, to understand how the players move on the pitch and outside of the pitch. I'm encouraging him a lot to go for lunch and dinners with the Finnish players and also the other foreign players. So now I'm quite happy because I would say the first 2 months of Bamba was quite hard. straight from Africa to here, big change. But now, from the third month till now, I see that each game that he has played, there was an improvement. But in the background of that, there was meetings between the head coach, Yoni, me and Bamba, weekly, where we will review his games, how things are going, and I will translate and also give him some tactical advice. So it's very much important, I would say, not because I'm here in front of you, but I do believe that if I was not here, it would be very difficult for these players to adapt so quickly. Because now we can see the result on the pitch the way Bamba plays after 5 months. Usually it takes a year or more to adjust to a new league, you know.
So what kind of support does the club provide to help players integrate into Finnish society and to Finnish football?
So we have like a booklet, what is Tampere, the city, the culture, the food, the place to visit, the restaurant to visit, what is the value of Ilves, who is Ilves, and we have like the English classes with them to teach them to speak better English. But aside of that, I will also explain to those players, this is Finland, this is how you should behave here. Because the result on the pitch is mainly off the pitch, you prepare that, in the small details. Because football is, yes, it's a physical game, but it demands you to be emotionally stable to be able to provide on the pitch. So.
Okay, after you joined to Ilves, one big change is the new collaboration with JMG-Academy. Could you tell us a bit more about that and how it works?
Well, initially, in the previous place I was in Granada, I tried to bring them there, but they were not interested in Spain because Spain is a saturated market. Too many big clubs already. And when they saw me being here in the position I'm today, so they said, listen, Khallil, we believe that Finland is not a saturated market. And we believe that we want to come here to help you, not to just change Ilves, but a Finnish football. To some people, these look like, oh, these guys are a bit crazy or things too big. But when you look what JMG did with Red Bull Salzburg in Salzburg, they started the collaboration many years back, and no one knew Salzburg. Now Salzburg is playing regularly Champions League football. So you see, it took them time to build that. And seeing them here, the head, JMG, Jean-Marc Guillou himself, and his daughter, the general manager, Sarah Guillou, they came to visit our club. I was quite proud because when I was in the academy in Thailand, like back in 2007, 8, 9, 10, I could never imagine that him as my mentor, me doing this kind of collaboration for the actual players in the academy, because they have like massive prospect that Liverpool, Marseille, Man United are interested in, and the track record of this academy is something Finland have never experienced, you know.
So what are the long-term goals for this collaboration?
Well, as the publication we made about the collaboration is quite clear, we're going to bring players in. But one thing that is very important is that the players that we are bringing in are not here to take the place of any Finnish players. But no, this collaboration is to put spotlight. Can you imagine you play for Ilves as a Finnish player, but you have someone that Liverpool wants, but because he's too young to play for the first team in Liverpool, but he's too good also to play in Finnish league, and he decides to come in the Finnish league, all of a sudden the eyes of big clubs are on you as well, because that player is here. So in a bigger scale, we will attract these players here. Now I can't go much into details, but we are very close on bringing two huge talents from JMG here that are international recognition. One of them was scouted by Liverpool, Marseille. They made offer to the academy, but with Ika we managed to convince them to let him to Ilves. And we believe that we are that close to seeing him here and play in the Veikkausliiga.
This one is from fans questions. How will the new academy collaboration affect the future of Ilves on a practical level?
In the academy level, there will be visit from some of our academy players to Africa. Why? Because we want Finnish players, 2 or 3, to visit Africa, to see the infrastructure, the way they train there. Because one of the key problems I've noticed through the months I've been here, it's like Finnish players are technically good, physically okay, but mentally oftentimes is not really good. And those who are mentally good are those who already played abroad, like Sauli Väisänen. Sauli is very strong mentally because he's been abroad, he has experienced high level, so he knows how to behave in a dressing room. But those who have never experienced international level football, mentally, they are often not good, to my opinion. That may displease to people, but if the mental that I'm seeing in Sauli was in all the Finnish players that have talent, especially the young one in the academy, that will provide so many transfers from Ilves to outside. I'm thinking about a player specifically, I can't name him, but I believe that he will recognize himself. We're working on that. If mentally he passed this level, he can play in any leagues in the world. So that collaboration will help these players to see outside of Finland by traveling there and come back. And also the GMG team to come all the way here. We will invite them for them to have friendly games. The under-18s of GMG to have a friendly games with our reserves for maybe 1 week or 2 weeks, so they can also experience Finland, as they did with Red Bull Salzburg over the years. They were traveling back and forth.
Moving on to the transfer window, what is the current situation for Ilves right now?
So I would say at the moment, we're not in a position to say we want to sell players. You see, because now at the moment we have the top scorer of the Veikkausliiga, captain, and also under 23 of Sweden, Jardel Kanga, very interesting profile. So you see, we're not in a position to say we want to sell him, but we have players that attract outside. There is a lot of interest on different players we have on the pitch as well from abroad. But also most importantly for us today is to strengthen the offensive side. Wingers, both sides, we need more speed, and we're working on that to provide more speed. And hopefully we can conclude things soon.
So regarding new players coming in, what are you able to share about them at this point?
You know how it works. Until things are official 100%, I'm not able to share much more about that. But as I said earlier, there is players from GMG that we are very close to bring, and also some other profile that we're working on. But at the moment, I can't give you much more details, but there is for sure hard work in the background for providing the right players in the right position that we need. You see, sometimes people may think we are blind to these things, but we see exactly what the team needs, you know, and we will provide, hopefully, things in the right timing. The best thing is the right timing in the transfer window.
So could you open up a bit about what goes on behind the scenes when preparing for the transfer window?
First of all, the transfer window, this transfer window, we started talking about it in January, February. We scouted players. We have a long list of players that with Ika we've been working on. So oftentimes people think it's in July now we are searching for players now. It's been already a long list. Like Ika said, when we started to observe Bamba before he came here, it was months of conversation until he's here. And the background is that there is many phone calls, many meetings, calls back and forth. And as I said, much we can't tell right now because we want things concrete. I'm not a man that will come to you and say, oh, we will have this and that, and then in 2 months we won't have anything. As I'm saying now, there is 2 very close signings that we are about to do. Hopefully they will come to a conclusion.
And a direct question from the fans, how do you ensure quality in your new signings?
Quality for people, depending on the perspective and football understanding and football brain, You see, to some people, Zidane was not a good player. To some other, he was one of the best players. You see what I mean? To some people, Adama Traoré, because he ran very fast, is a really good player. To some other, is a bad player. So quality is really determined on what do you know about football. So to me, when I observe a player, I often look his game without the ball. Because in Finland, what we need, and especially Ilves at the moment, we need team players that understand where we are going as a project. Because selfish players oftentimes will distract the project, and we don't need selfish players. We need team players, and those are the very to me, quality comes from what you do without the ball. Because in this level, we expect you to know how to control, shoot, pass, you know. For me, quality is without the ball. And that's why I did like Bamba, because if you observe the game, without the ball, he's really hardworking. He's not cheating on the pitch. He's defending and going in for his teammates. So I knew that bringing a player like Bamba here would bring value to the team, because without the ball, he's a warrior. Similar for a striker. What do you do without the ball? You know, because when you have the ball, you can be Ronaldinho. That's easy. But without the ball, what do? You know, so.
Looking at the bigger picture, how do you see the situation at Ilves now that you've been working about 6 months here? What kind of observations have you made?
For the bigger picture?
Yeah.
For the bigger picture, as I say in the beginning of this interview, I am very excited because things are going as I planned in my head. You know, when there is a difficult start, it's often because the end will be beautiful. You know, I keep repeating it. Ilves, in very soon, will have Champions League game here. Because we are not coming here just to vacation, no. We came in here to build a project, and when you build a foundation of something, it's often to provide something that the club have never experienced. See, we could target the Europa League or the Conference League to say, oh, this is our level. But with the quality I'm seeing from the foreign and the Finnish players, I do believe that the stadium, Tammela Stadium, the city of Tampere, I really believe that the long term is that we will have games here. Why not? Ilves Arsenal, Ilves Madrid in Tammela Stadium. This is history. And long term, we will get there. But short term, we need people to encourage the project. You see, if you are an Ilves fan and you love your club, yeah, you want your club to remain in history. And you want your club to touch history. And you have people who are coming with a project. The support behind should be like, yes, we will support this guy because we want our club to be recognized. Because they're not just coming to do business. They're actually, if it's business, there is so many other ways to make money. You get me? I never came here for money. I really came here because I know that there is a solid foundation to do history here. And that's why with Ika, we are truly on the same page. We traveled a couple of times to Africa together. We did a lot of things together. And when I speak football with him, we know that this is a potential for Champions League football. And this is what we are fighting for daily.
So what's your message for the Ilves fans?
Message for the Ilves fan? You know, as I said, you are an Ilves fan. You love the club. The club comes before everything. You want your club to reach something that no any clubs in the history of Finland did. You need to believe in it, push it, encourage it, support it. I've seen it as I was living in Liverpool. They say you will never walk alone, right? So to me, I want the fans to really believe in what we are doing, that we know what we are doing. We have experts, people who have been, Ika worked in Zenit St. Petersburg with Roberto Mancini. Mancini is known in the world of football. I've had experience with my career and the different clubs I worked before here. So we know what we are doing. But we need the support of the fan to encourage us to take more fuel, because we need them. For example, tomorrow we have a very important game, and we need them to be able to provide something, So that's my message to them now. No matter what, we should never walk alone.
And the final question is lighter one from the fans. What's the best restaurant here in Tampere?
Oh, wow. To be honest, I've not been to so much restaurant. I don't know if you followed, but I've traveled everywhere, and I'm invited by the Ivorian Federation to go to the US for Ivorian game. And with all this travel, I have not experienced that much. But the one that I really like is in the market, the fish salmon place. I forgot the name. Actually, Ville took me there in Kanga. Surprisingly, Kanga said, bro, let's go to the salmon place. And it was very delicious. See, there is a Thai restaurant and the salmon. Do you know the name? Like in the marketplace. They do salmon, rice, and potatoes. It's really nice fish. I like fish. So I would say this one. And second choice will be Tampela.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Kalle.
No worries. Thank you very much.